Today on Conversations with Neighbours, I'm sitting down with someone who represents the next generation of builders in our communities, Justin. Justin is a young entrepreneur from Barrie who has already created two major community-driven sports businesses. He's the founder of Barrie Youth Hockey League and the co-founder of Pickleball Barrie Tournaments. We'll talk about that more later. He's also working on some other things, which we'll also get into. They've grown rapidly, brought people together, giving back to the community, all that. What really stands out about Justin is that he's not just building, he's documenting the entire journey. His YouTube channel follows behind the scenes of starting businesses, learning as he goes, and giving back along the way. He's thoughtful, he's hungry, and he's building something real at a young age. I'm excited to dive in of how he started, what he's learned, and where he's going next. Justin, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me on, Myles.
Okay, so let's start at kind of the beginning of it. Did you always know you wanted to be an entrepreneur? Is that from a very young age? Did you grow into that? Obviously, you're very young, but was that always on the top of your mind? Entrepreneurship, business, stuff like that?
Not really. It wasn't always on the top of my mind. I definitely always was doing something, I feel like, from a young age that was entrepreneurial, but it never came to the realization that I really wanted to do that for the rest of my life until, like two or 3 years ago.
Yeah. And in high school, like what you kind of dipped your toe into the business world, I think as many people do, which is kind of like social media management, content creation, things of that nature, right? So that was kind of maybe your intro into business, which maybe sparked it, I guess.
Exactly. Yes. In high school, I did social media management for a local company in my city, and I just loved it. I loved being able to just make my own money where I wasn't actually getting a paycheck. I did work other jobs too. I've worked at Chick-fil-A. It was an amazing experience, but just being able to make my own money, it was so cool being able to make a couple videos. And I knew social media pretty well when I was younger and still now, but I just make a couple videos and the brand would pay me per month. I thought that was such a cool concept. So it definitely sparked my interest there.
Yeah. And I didn't know that you worked at Chick-fil-A. Was it as amazing as they say it is? Like,
it was incredible.
They're dialed in. Like, I know that their training is dialed in. Their employees are dialed 100%. In. We just got one in Newmarket. I don't know if it was this year or last year.
Yeah.
And every time it's like, this is proper.
Oh, 100%. And I think the main reason for that is because Chick-fil-A is a family-owned business. Mm-hmm. So the owner, Truett Cathy, the founder, he still has his family. He had passed away, but he still has his family involved highly, and they're the ones that are running it. So they really keep to his original values, which made Chick-fil-A great. I mean, our operators are phenomenal. The one I had, shout out Lincoln, he was the operator at our Chick-fil-A. He was one of Canada's youngest operators. I think he was in his late 20s. But he was amazing having his leadership and the rest that we had there. We definitely do really focus on customer first, and I've used it in my ventures. It's definitely helped me out working there.
Yeah, I love it. My pleasure.
Yes, my pleasure, always.
Okay, so you kind of you're interested in the business, social media, all those pieces, but really your kind of first big idea is the youth hockey league in the summer, right? So
exactly.
Talk about how the idea came to be and then what came next.
Okay, so the idea actually came to be in grade 11 marketing class. I was literally sitting in at the computer. It was once we were done one of our projects, so I had about 30 minutes left to go in the class, and I didn't really feel like going on my phone, so I decided to go on the computer, and I was just researching local hockey leagues in Barrie. And one thing I noticed is there's a ton of training camps and programs for players that want to develop their skills. But it just literally the idea just hit me in class that there was no hockey leagues there except for the 3-on-3 NTR program. So my entire life, I grew up playing hockey. In the last 4 years, I've been officiating hockey at high level. And I realized without this opportunity, no hockey leagues here, players have to drive like myself in previous years to Toronto and 2 hours there and back to find leagues that service them that are 5-on-5 over the summer. So I wanted to bring that option here locally to kids in Barrie so that we didn't just have the 3-on-3 NTR program, because that's also on a reduced size rink and stuff like that.
So you see the white space in grade 11. It's kind of like the aha moment of there's an opportunity here. It does not exist where I am. You believe that there's a need for it too, even just thinking of yourself personally. What is kind of the next steps of that and going from idea to kind of research on it and then kind of, I guess, launching the business.
Yes.
Give me the run through of that process. So grade 11 class, you kind of discover it. What's the
So the process was, that was my last class of the day. The first thing I did when I got home was continue researching, of course. The process started with making a business plan. I wanted to be able to pitch this idea to my parents because I knew, only being 16 at the time, that I was not going to be able to sign contracts for insurance and for ICE and stuff like that. So I definitely had to get them on board with my idea. So that was the first step. I wanted to make a business plan to see if it was even possible before bringing it up to them. So I made some calls just to the city of Barrie, just, acted like I was somebody that was older. They didn't ask for my age, but I wanted to get the rates for the ICE. I wanted to think about what I would charge the players, think about other costs, what would insurance cost me, stuff like that, to really break down a profit loss sheet and figure out if this is an actual idea that is worth pursuing and presenting to my parents. So that was the first step for sure.
I have it reminds me of kind of me on my first business too. Like you're just filled with so much energy, right? Like you're like all these things, like if you've never done this, I guess you'd be like, that's not exciting. Like calling the city of Barrie. It's so exciting.
It was exciting, 100%.
And figuring out what the cost of the ice is and doing the math, and you're like, okay, I need this many players, blah, blah, blah.
Exactly.
Had you had that feeling before, or was this kind of like that first, look, I even have chills thinking about it too, because I know what the feeling is like. Was that the first time of you kind of having that experience of obsession is essentially starts?
Oh my goodness, it was 100%. And I totally agree with you. And that exactly is how it felt, Myles. Just being able to put the pieces of the puzzle together and calling and seeing if it will all work out. That was the most exciting part right from the start. So it 100% was.
So you do it, you pitch your parents first, they're on board, they say, go for it. And then, so now you're going for it, right? What's the next step now? Now that you've gone past the first roadblock, which is kind of parents on board so they can sign for insurance and stuff. What's kind of the next thing?
Yeah, for sure. So they said yes. They thought it was a good idea, but it's actually funny. At first, they were like, "Are you sure you want to do that? It's going to be a lot of work." So that was the main thing they were saying at first. They weren't sure if it was actually something I wanted to take on and something I knew that I was doing and how much work it was going to be. So just being able to be certain with it, of course, they said, yes, let's do it. So the next, thing to do after that was to actually start taking it seriously and calling the city and seeing, the ice availability. Yeah. So it wasn't just about now the costs and stuff like that. Is the ice there? Can I do it? Is there an insurance company? Getting connections. I spoke to the general manager at BMHA, amazing guy. And we're still very close to this day, even though I'm not still playing hockey there. But he was very helpful. He's like, you can connect with this insurance agency and stuff like that. So now I started asking the big questions that needed to be asked to start moving forward with this business idea. So that was the next step for sure.
And where are we in the calendar year? Are you still in grade 11? Are you in grade 12? Where are we in?
So you want to know what's funny? This is in May of grade 11. And I started promoting the business 2 weeks after I had the idea of it. So this is all fast. This was, eat, sleep, everything, this hockey league. So it was 2 weeks and I knew that the summer season was coming up quick. It was a late idea. I came up with it in May and I wanted to start the league in July. Yeah. I knew I needed to start advertising it. So it was May 31st I came up with the idea, and April 14th is when I started advertising it. It's when I put money behind my first paid ad, using that money from previous ventures, little things like social media management, stuff like that. So it really was honestly a sprint.
And obviously your parents were behind it. What about your friends? Were they like, you're crazy? Or were they like, yeah, that sounds like a good idea? What was their vibe on it?
I think they were similar to my parents' initial feeling, definitely kind of more towards the you're crazy idea of this is going to be a ton of work. You're young. Who is going to give you the money to, put behind a league that you've never done before? You've never been in that industry of, providing a service for children over an entire 8-week period. Yeah. So although they thought it was a good idea, realizing there was no need for it, definitely they were reminding me about how it was going to be a challenge. But in the end, all in all, I think they were quite supportive of the idea.
Love it. And, the biggest thing with the ideas is just do, right? You figure it out as you go. And that's exactly if you could analyze it all day long, but you're not going to figure it out until you actually start doing it. So you do successfully launch the business, right? That summer, right? And how many teams did you have on that first year?
So in the first year, I was able to gather 51 players, which were in the 10 and 11-year-old age bracket. And that was for 4 teams in 1 division.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool. I actually initially wanted to have enough players for 6 teams, but actually talking to the parents and the children over the summer, they really liked the 4 teams because only with an 8-week league, in 6 teams, you might not play one team more than once. Well, you actually won't. But in a 4-week league, you could play, the same team twice if there was, competitive battle and stuff like that, being able to get their redemption and stuff. So it was great with 4 teams, actually.
Yeah. And you were going with speed. So it's like, even having that many is impressive too. And then did you go out, get some sponsorship too for that first year of like, okay, now I've secured the ice, I've got the players, and now like, can I get some sponsorship dollars, to kind of lift up the league a bit? So
exactly. So that all started first. I wanted to make sure that I got the players, got the ice, that I was able to start marketing it. And then of course, once we started marketing it, we got some interest, some forms getting filled out and coming back. That's when I realized, okay, now I have a little bit more time on my hands. I'm going to start reaching out to sponsors for sure to help. And I had 3 wonderful first year sponsors, Wimpy's Diner in my city. I had Ben's Fish and Chips, and then also Happy Mango. And Happy Mango and Wimpy's have been a recurring sponsor. Wimpy's actually sponsored 2 teams the first year and 2 the second year. So, Wimpy's and Happy Mango and Danny's Fish and Chips, they've been amazing sponsors. And Danny's Fish and Chips didn't continue. Yeah. Wimpy's and Happy Mango did, though. But I'm so grateful for their support because I was able to sponsor all 4 teams, which did help for sure.
It's a perfect fit for Wimpy's, like go play the summer and then go eat at Wimpy's like as a family, right?
Not to mention, too, the league in the first year was early morning on Saturday. So what are they going to do after hockey? They're going to go get breakfast. Yeah. And then when they're done, maybe go get lunch at Happy Mango.
Yeah. So, love dinner. That. So you go through that first year. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of learning, a lot of problem solving throughout it. Yeah. But then league ends and you're back. Now you're in grade 12.
I just finished grade 12.
Yeah.
The past year.
Yeah. So you do that first summer and then you're in grade 12.
Yes.
Right. And then now I'm thinking back now. Now you're probably like, I don't want to be doing any of the school stuff. I don't know. Like you're probably just thinking about like making it bigger exactly too, right? Now everything is it's like a one-way door, right? That you can't walk past, right? It's like you've gone through the door and you've tasted like entrepreneurship and business and stuff.
You can't turn back.
And now you can't turn back. And now you're sitting and reading, I don't know, Beowulf in English class, and you're like, this.
Yeah, literally all classes in grade 12. I swear I was opening up my computer and I was doing something to do with the business. It was just so hard to focus. I would do my homework later in the evening. Yeah. I'd use that classroom time to do business stuff.
Yeah, and then so you have. Then is it in that spring you do the pickleball tournament? So grade 12 spring. So that's when you and a friend of yours are like, oh, we should do a pickleball tournament, right? Exactly. Kind of is like, I can't wait for next summer. I need to do another business thing. So walk me through that. Obviously, pickleball is exploding. You kind of see, that you can kind of put on an event like this. So
exactly. So the grade 12 school year went by, winter, spring. And like you said, once we got to spring of 2025, near the end of grade 12, my friend and I, my close friend, best friend, him and I went together and we were like you said, pickleball is exploding. There's an opportunity here for pickleball tournaments in Barrie. So we opened up an organization called Barrie Pickleball Tournaments, which was just strictly tournaments. And the reason why we wanted to do that is we were both busy with our own things. And I always wanted to make sure that the Barrie Youth Hockey League was the most important thing. So, running a tournament here and there on weekends definitely wasn't something that impacted my focus from the Barrie Youth Hockey League, took it away from that. So yeah, we decided to come together once again, starting back at that phase, calling the city, how much are the courts? How much are we going to charge? Are we able to get sponsors? And then the other thing that was kind of challenging with the Pickleball Barrie was obviously it's a completely different sport than hockey. So there's different rules that go into it. Like different rating systems. You could be a 2.0, 2.5, 3.0, and it goes all the way up. So being able to make sure that we're making correct brackets so it's still going to be fun and engaging for everyone. So that kind of actual skill set behind the scenes stuff was a bit more of a challenge, and we needed more education there. Yeah,
but go through that, have another kind of experience of from idea to reality, right? You're like, yeah, we should do this. You go through the whole process of it too. It's like just more reps of like improving the skill of kind of putting these things on, right?
Right.
And then you graduate high school, and now you're going into year 2 of the summer league.
Summer league.
And what's kind of the growth from year 1 to year 2? Like how many more players, teams, sponsorships? Walk me through kind of year 2 of the business.
For sure. So just to recap, year 1, we had 51 players, 4 teams, and 1 division. Year 2, it was so humbling to see the expansion. Definitely unexpected, the demand there, but we went from 51 to 192 players, 4 teams to 14 teams, and 1 division to 3 divisions. So that would be 2 age groups and now 6 age groups spread across 3 divisions.
Yeah.
And then for sponsorship, we sponsored 12 of our 14 teams, which was so exciting.
So huge growth from year 1 and year 2, which just tells me like it was a really good product that was really well ran, because that means not only did you have repeat customers of it, but they told other people too, like this is such a great league, such a great experience, all these things. So kudos to you, because that's the hard part. Like, to do something once is one thing, right? Because people will give you just a chance,
Right.
but to do it again, but then like 4x it, like that's a big thing. So
Thank you.
And then, now that is kind of your focus. You see that there's a lot of room for growth and expansion, not only in Barrie, you kind of want to grow that into other markets too, because other markets need it. So tell me what you're thinking about that. Now that you're done high school, you don't have to be in English class learning about Beowulf or Romeo and Juliet, whatever. you could obsess on this piece of it. And as you think about 2026, like what's the goals for the league and where you want to see it go?
So 2026, once again, I'd like to expand a little bit more in Barrie. We were co-ed last year and the first year, and I know that we had, I think, between 10 and 15 girls in our league this last summer, which was awesome seeing both of them come together. But I know there was a lot more interest if there was a separate girls division. So that's definitely something to look into. And then also staying within those age groups and maybe adding in more teams and welcoming more players in Barrie would be awesome. And then, as you mentioned, going into other markets, there definitely is opportunity there. So I'm already looking at Muskoka. So I already have bought the name Muskoka Youth Hockey League. I kind of actually reserved that at the start of the 2025 Summer League because I already had ideas of maybe going there. So I just wanted to make sure that was secure, whether or not I decided to proceed with it or not. So I want to definitely do that. Possibly 1 division, sort of like the first year, or 2 divisions, just taking it slow, because the most important thing is not expanding fast and not having the same level of quality in the league. It's very experience based. It's a community. We're giving back to our community. I want the kids to have an amazing time where they can develop their skills. It's still competitive, make new friends, stuff like that. So expanding slowly by keeping the same league quality is important. But I think that Muskoka could really use something like that, because some of them that I've talked to, parents that are up in that area, like Bracebridge, Huntsville, they have to drive even further to Toronto to play in 5-on-5 leagues. There's nothing really up there that services them. So I realized that is an opportunity. And then fostering everything under Ontario Youth Hockey League, which I've also bought. So it's like kind of like an umbrella. You think of it, and then you have Barrie and Muskoka.
Yeah, absolutely. Love the vision of it. And as well,
Thank
too,
you.
Like you are correct, like not to expand too quickly, right? Because slow is smooth and smooth is fast, right? Especially when it's like an experience like that, you're going to want the repeats. You're going to want them talking about other ones. So I think that's the right kind of framework to go into a new market of like, and then as over time, you'll be able to do like the launches bigger and bigger because of the experience, but don't do what you had in Barrie year 2 and year 1 in a new market, right? So that's a good mindset on it. And then as well too, you're documenting the whole journey on YouTube, right? Talk to me about why you're doing that, what that is like, difficulties, positives of it. I think it's a very smart decision for, I think, the reason that you're going to say, but I want you to tell me.
For sure. Yeah, that idea came, I think, in the summer to start YouTube of 2025. And I was being very consistent with it. I kind of had a little bit of a gap where I took some time off that I wish I didn't, but I'm getting back on it. I just got really busy in that time, but now I'm still getting back on it. I want to post at least once every week on YouTube and start posting short form content too on TikTok, Instagram, Reels, stuff like that. And the reason why I think is because building a personal brand in 2025 going into 2026, I think is huge nowadays. A lot of people want to become content creators, but a lot of other young entrepreneurs look up to people online that are doing, like I did. I look up to people online that are doing similar things to me. And I want to be able to be that inspirational person for that next young entrepreneur, to show them that they can chase their dreams. They can, it sounds cliche, but that they can, follow whatever they want. It's possible. They're seeing someone do it. So I think having social media on the side, that can turn into another income stream. And I think that's a huge asset, because you can take it with you wherever you go. No matter what business venture, where you go in the future, you always have your personal brand with you. And it helps you with opportunities, networking, and once again, inspiring other people. So it's something I just love. I like social media a lot. I've been doing it since a young age. And I wanted to be able to get back on it and really make myself the face of it.
Yeah, for sure. I agree 100%. It's one thing that I wish I did when I first started at 20, right? I just started this year at 34, but same mindset. I'm like, okay, I'm going to continue to build businesses for the rest of my life. Like, might as well document the journey, just kind of build personal brand, built-in audience. You can have like feedback loops from the audience too. And as well too, especially I just had my first kid, he's turning 1 this December.
Congratulations.
I'm like, how cool will it be for him? Like when he's like 15 years old, to like see me when he was like born, right?
That's a great idea.
So there's that element of it too. And I've watched lots of your videos, and your girlfriend is always with you, part of it. Like, I think that she's clearly an important piece of the whole building of this. Talk about her. You can shout her out on this. Like, give me that kind of context as well too.
Yeah, for sure. Yes, Cameron is a great help. Shout out, Cameron. I love you. And thank you so much for always helping me with everything. She's awesome. We've been together for, a year and a half, I think. Actually, just over. We just had our 20 months. Sorry, I'm a little bit off. But yeah, so we've been together for quite some time now, and our relationship's continuing to grow stronger and healthier. And it's been great. I think I see a lot of these things watching these entrepreneurial videos. Like, one of the most important things in your life, I'm sure you can vouch for this too, is the wife that you choose or the husband you choose, because they can either make or break you for your future. So it's very important to have somebody that's very supportive of you and can understand your vision and has their own goals. I think that's extremely important. And I think that we're perfect for each other in that sense. But yes, she really helps me behind the camera. She'll record a lot of videos. She likes to be in them too. She'll have me do some TikToks with her. So it's tons of fun, but yeah.
Yeah, I was dating my girlfriend at 19 and 20, and she's been with me now. Yesterday was 14 years when we started dating. Now we've been married for 3 years, and now we just had our first kid. So like, I can contest to like having a partner that's kind of with you through the whole journey, all the ups and the downs and the craziness of it. And as well, having like the supportive feel of like when shit gets a little crazy. So if you find yourself a good one, which it sounds like you do everything you can to hang on to her. That's for sure.
100%. 100%.
Also, like, have you seen Truett Haynes?
I haven't, no. Who's that?
You'll love him. Like, Truett Haynes, he's Cameron Haynes' son. Cameron Haynes is like a bow hunter type guy. Truett Haynes, he's a runner. He's absolutely crushing the running game, and he's crushing YouTube right now. Big into faith as well. And his wife is kind of like always there behind the camera too. Like, it's like kind of similar like video styles of like how you do it. So I'll send them to you. You could check them out. Yeah,
that's awesome.
What kind of influencers, creators, people out there? I know the last time that we had met, you had mentioned Dan Martell as one of them. Like, who out there in that ecosystem do you look up to and follow, learn from, or inspired by? Who are those kind of people that you follow?
So Dan Martell is definitely one. I love his mindset and how he's just straight to the point with things, because people need to have a little bit of a firm, role model online sometimes. Like, sometimes people are too soft, and it's nice just to see someone that just tells you how it is and really pushes you to do well. And I like his content. It's very, very inspirational and motivational. But so he's one. I also watch Cody Sanchez. I think that's how you pronounce. Have you heard of her on YouTube? Yeah. So she always has different kinds of business models that she explores, or she goes and interviews different people. So I like watching a lot of that.
Yeah, like sweaty startups type things, like Main Street businesses.
Exactly.
Like, she bought Pink's, like the window cleaning.
Yes. Yeah. And she has like, I think one of her videos, she's talking about 17 different income streams she has. And it's just so interesting seeing how you can compile that many assets, because that's what's important, having those assets. So she's one. Another one, have you heard of School of Hard Knocks?
Yeah. Yeah.
Absolutely love that guy, James Dublin, I think
Yeah.
is how you pronounce it. I don't know, but his videos are awesome. Like just going and interviewing entrepreneurs. I even learn a lot from him, not just the entrepreneurs. He talks about how every no is one step closer to a yes. And that was my mindset when I was going to get sponsors for my league.
Mm-hmm.
Every single time someone said no, I'm like, okay, it's one step closer to a yes. I'll get somebody. I just got to keep going, business to business, trying to find somebody. But I really like his mindset, and I love the obviously advice that he hears from a lot of other entrepreneurs.
Yeah, I love that. And then another kind of biz that you're involved in is e-commerce business called Haven.
Yes.
Haven,
Haven
right?
Skin.
Haven Skin. And you've kind of partnered up with a couple other guys. Talk to me about what that business is. And then you have something coming up for that business as well, too.
Yes, we do something exciting. So Haven Skin is a skincare business. It's based in Florida. And it is an amazing skincare company. Growing up, I tried a bunch of different skincares, and I realized that a lot of them were making my face break out more, which is something that we commonly hear from a lot of our customers. And I found that when I used his product, I'm not obviously I work for them, but I'm not just saying that because I work from this as an honest testimony. It actually did help with my skin. And I've never felt it more moisturized. So I love the product. And the reason why is because I love the person that's behind the brand. So that is the founder, Haven Law. He's a social media content creator, and he's also an entrepreneur. He has a couple different business ventures going for him. But his company, Haven Skin, he started, and he had the mindset of making a very, very healthy product. And he has done that. And what I really like about it is the fact that, not some products like other skincare companies, like say CeraVe, different things, they use ingredients that are cheaper that aren't as healthy. And one thing that he made sure to do, and I can tell you this is true, being involved in the business, is using higher quality products that cost more money that are actually healthy ingredients. And that's the goal, like using healthy ingredients that don't allow you to have these massive profit margins, but are healthy for people to use. And his skincare is a 11 ingredient moisturizer, and it's all natural, vegan and all that kind of stuff, animal cruelty free. And if you ever use the health app Yuka, it scans 100 out of 100 on Yuka, which is very hard. Go to Sephora or another place and scan skincare products, and you won't find a rating like that. So that's what really interests me to get involved in the company. And I reached out after following Haven for, maybe 6 months to a year. I really wanted to connect with other young entrepreneurs, and I saw that he had similar things as me. Like, he promotes no drinking, no partying, stuff like that. He just shows that as his lifestyle, and I really align with that. Same with our faith and our connection with God. And being another young entrepreneur, I really wanted to connect with him. So right when I saw his company launched, I wanted to get somehow involved, and I wanted to just look at it and see if there was any way I could add value. And that's kind of how I reached out to him.
Love it. And then had the core product that it's been running with, but this December new product launch is coming out. 3 new products are coming.
3 new products, December 6th.
December 6th. Yeah, put a reminder in. They'll probably all sell out, but that's exciting stuff. So
it is.
I love to hear everything that you got going on. When we first connected, I became a believer very quickly of you. So what's, if you fast forward 5 years from, so how old are you right now?
I am 18.
18. So yes. 5 years from now, right? 23 years old. Like, what do you want life to look like? Life and business to kind of look like?
Okay, so I want to be a multimillionaire.
Yeah.
As everyone I think does, but definitely that. I want to be able to have expanded my league into a few other cities and having that running awesomely, like having great talent helping me out and managing operations. So I'm not as hands-on right now, definitely coming a little bit off, but making sure that we still, once again, hold that quality level and everything like that. So that's a goal. I want to build my YouTube up so I can get monetized. I'd love to have 1 million subscribers or more by that time. Same thing with my social media pages, like short form content, because that's a huge asset. Start making money from that. Yep. The hockey league, and then also something to do with AI. Like I definitely want to have some sort of venture into AI, possibly an agency or something that's helping other businesses by telling them the knowledge I know about AI, how they can help automate their services and offer them better solutions, solving their problems that way. So that's important. And then, continuing to grow Haven Skin as a team, that's very important. I'd like us to be doing amazing 5 years ahead. I don't even know where we'll be because, it's hard to predict the future, but I see, high hopes for all these kinds of things. So I'm really looking forward to it. And I just love the journey. I know so many people just want to rush to it. It's fun, like you said, going through all the steps and building something literally from the ground up. So
love it. Okay. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
All right. Bye-bye.